With a growing family, with a couple of kids, you're definitely going to feel the need to transition to a larger vehicle. But if you don't want to go to a full-size SUV, a mid-size with third row seating is a happy compromise. Specifically, today we're going to talk about this 2022 Ford Explorer XLT. Let's dive in. The Explorer has been a go-to SUV for years and years. We first saw the Explorer come out, I think it was the late 80s, early 90s, the first Ford Explorer came out, revolutionizing the SUV. It's evolved and moved on over the years. We've seen it shed its truck-based body-on-frame architecture for car-based unibody architecture, giving it better fuel efficiency, better handling. But we also saw it transition back to a rear-wheel drive platform for 2020 when it was redesigned, giving it better handling and better feel and better balance overall. This particular Explorer is a two-wheel drive. You can get them in either two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive / four-wheel drive. Why would you want two-wheel drive over four-wheel drive? Well, everyone's different. Some people need four-wheel drive. Some people don't need four-wheel drive. For instance, us here in the Pacific Northwest, we have a very mild climate. We haven't really seen any meaningful snow in the last couple years in the Seattle-Tacoma area. So for most people that live around here and don't drive over the snowy mountain passes, don't ski, you don't really need all-wheel drive. You have traction control, you have the weight of the vehicle, you can get tire chains if need be for light snow, and you'll do just fine. The thing with a four-wheel drive Explorer, if you want four-wheel drive, it's going to probably be about $2,000 or $3,000 more than a comparable two-wheel drive Explorer like this one. Also, with the drag of a all-wheel drive / four-wheel drive system, that's going to reduce fuel efficiency. So you're going to get 1 to 2 miles per gallon better with rear-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive. And then there's maintenance. When you have four-wheel drive / all-wheel drive, you're going to have to service the differential, so that's going to require more maintenance at the Ford dealership or the service facility that you go to. So those are some very good reasons why you may want to consider a two-wheel drive vehicle versus a four-wheel drive. This one's very spacious, being a midsize. It's kind of like the Goldilocks, not too big, not too small. When you have a couple kids and you have friends and you have to carry them around, third seating almost becomes a must. This has a nice power rear lift gate. The third row seats are pretty spacious, even adults will be comfortable back here. You can easily fold them down when you need more cargo space, and then the second row seats fold fairly flat as well. You have a little bit of storage under here. You have nice spacious interior. The second row seats are very comfortable. We have a rear climate control. We have power seats for both front seats, nice leather up wheel. This one has 29,149 miles. Nice analog gauges to the left and right with a digital gauge cluster in the middle. Information display system, which is fantastic. You can kind of pick and choose what information you want showing up there. Fantastic sync infotainment system. We have a rear parking camera. This one has heated front seats. And even though it's a midsize crossover SUV with the rear-wheel drive platform and a peppy turbocharged engine, this thing's pretty fun to drive. You wouldn't always expect it, but this thing definitely scoots along with 300 horsepower with the rear-wheel drive balanced platform. It goes over corners around authority, and that's also thanks to the unibody car-based architecture. It drives a lot more like a car. It's not quite as heavy as a body-on-frame truck. You know, with like the Broncos and the Raptors and stuff like that. That's if you want to tow heavy weight, if you want to do some serious off-roading. So Ford figured most people who buy vehicles like this, they're not going to do serious off-roading. They're not towing 10,000 pounds. That's why they decided to switch to the unibody architecture, and it's been a great success ever since. Nice front-end styling, and the other cool thing about Explorers is law enforcement tend to drive these quite often, so when people see these things barreling down the lane and getting bigger in their rearview mirror, they have a tendency to get out of your way. So if you like to drive fast on the left-hand lane, you might find people get out of your way a little bit more often when driving an Explorer like this because they might think you're the police. There's a number of different engines available. This has a 2.3-liter turbocharged engine. We can find this engine like in the Mustang, the Bronco. It makes 300 horsepower, also very fuel efficient. Well, there you go. Nice example of a rear-wheel drive 2022 Explorer. We are Scarff Ford. My name's Joe. We've been in business 103 years. We serve the greater Seattle-Tacoma area, located in Auburn, Washington. If you enjoyed this content and are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.